morning, everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. I see a lot of people who were here, right here with us in the studio this afternoon, and you guys are back with us again. Thank you all so much for being here. Tonight, we're going to try something different. So last Tuesday night, I think it was, or Thursday. Was it Thursday, Tom, that I did grayscale? I can't even remember anymore. I think it was. Yes. It was Thursday that I did grayscale ink blending. And you guys totally knocked it out of the park. You guys went into the Facebook group and you shared all kinds of beautiful grayscale stenciling that you did. Some of you used our other 3D embossing folders to do some 3D grayscale stenciling, and then some of you did monochromatic stenciling. You did sepia, and you did other colors too, and I was very inspired by that. And then last night, Simon Hurley went live. He is such a great person. He's so much fun to watch live. He did a great live last night, and he said it was inspired by my grayscale video. And he did grayscale, but he also did monochromatic, other colors and things. So definitely check out his video on YouTube. You can always find him. Just type in Simon Hurley, and he pops right up on YouTube. And go to his channel, subscribe, and check out his grayscale and monochromatic video. Well, after seeing all of what you guys did, and then seeing Simon Hurley, what he did, I thought, well, now I have to try other colors too. And I thought it might be a fun way that we can explore some other colors in our collection that go really well together, even though they don't have a light, medium, and dark on the title of their names. So, with that in mind, that's what we're going to do tonight. But before we do that, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Greetings, everybody.
How are you?
What happened to my hair?
You're due for a haircut? You got to try to get in with Rena.
I'm due for a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You know how it goes, right? Well, thanks for being here again. I mean, you gave up your afternoon for us, and here you are this evening, too.
I live in the dead space.
Just in the dead space. Have you been there all day?
All day.
Well, we have something exciting tonight, too, don't we? At the end of the show.
Big.
Yes, our friend Catherine from Scrapbook and Cards Today is going to give away a $50 gift card to one of our lucky chatters. That's coming at the end of the show tonight. And we're also giving away a $15 gift card. So there's going to be two prizes, but Catherine's prize from Scrapbook and Cards Today is the best. Way better, so much fun. And I asked her, can they use it on anything? Like, can they use it maybe for a future event or for a class they'd like to take or some of the products you have on your website? And she said, no restrictions. They can use it on anything that they want. So thank you, Catherine. We will be doing that at the end of tonight's live. And the way to enter is just drop a comment in the chat. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook or if you're on not Instagram, on YouTube. We get all the comments, and Tom does his little magic thing that he does, and he will be picking a winner for that gift card and also for our gift card tonight at the end of the show. So make sure you leave some comments. That would be great. Now, I don't know if you guys saw earlier, but I shared a document that I have on our website that you can download. It's free, and it's really helpful if you are one of the people that loves the light, medium, and dark ink pads that we have. We have them in spruces, carnations, orchids, and oh my goodness, what's the other one? Carnations, orchids, spruces, and lilacs. And so we have them in those 4 colors, which were kind of new colors to Gina K Designs. And people have been saying, are you going to do a light, medium, and dark turquoise? Are you going to do a light, medium, and dark blue? Well, we would, except we do have a lot of those colors already in our collection, but we named them before we came up with this 3-part thing. So I made a document that will help you with some of that. And we've even added some new colors to our collection, so I might update this document and add a couple more. But right now, this is the document. And this is available if you go to the blog on our website. So go to ginakdesigns.com and there's a tab that says blog. If you click on the tab, you will find this document under the templates and charts. It's also the same place where you can find all the master layouts, printouts, and everything else. So I see Brianne Loveland in the chat on YouTube. Brianne, thank you so much for being here with us. She just shared the link to this document, so you can find it using her link. Or if you're watching on Facebook, just head over to our website and click on the blog tab and then templates and charts, and you will find it. It's just a few posts down. There's also lots of other things over there that you can download, and they're all free. So I think it's fun to peruse over there, and every once in a while we add something new. So I showed this in today's live over at SCT, but this is a really helpful way to think about how you can create your own light, medium, and darks using the regular colors in our collection. So one that I really like is the powder blue, the blue raspberry, and the blue denim. But I was thinking about this. Let me get the blue raspberry. I was thinking about this color combination. And I was thinking, well, maybe we can get blue sky in this mix too. So here's blue sky, which is the lightest one, right? And then here's powder blue. Here's blue raspberry. And then we also have blue denim. And then if you want to go even darker than that, we've got in the navy. Now we do have one more blue that kind of falls into the teals maybe a little more. It's called Blue Lagoon. But when you stamp this, it's really it's more vibrant than like the turquoises. See that color there? Okay, so it's very vibrant. The turquoises definitely, let's see. Here's turquoise C just for, see how it's more blue than turquoise, but it's more turquoise than blue. So I don't even know where to put it. But that's the truth, right? So we'll just put these aside. We won't use these right now, but I wanted to show you that one because I do think that this one and maybe a little blue raspberry might be kind of cool together. I don't know. This is awfully blue. Not awful, but awfully blue. So why don't we try something with the blues tonight and see what we can come up with together? I think that would be a really fun assortment. And even though this one says powder blue, blue raspberry, and blue denim, I think that we can even add to that with the blue sky. And I know you guys, yes, I know a lot of you love the blues. So I have a couple different stencils here that I think would work really nicely. I love this summer bouquet. Don't ask me why I have 14 sets of summer bouquet in this pouch, but I think I was testing a couple of them before they ever came out. So now I've got to find 1, 2, 3. I know there's a 4. Oh, maybe there's not a 4. 1, 2, 3. I think that's it. I think it's a 3-part stencil. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'll try to get one that doesn't have as much purple on it. Of course, I tested all of them here. That's the way it goes. When they send me samples to test, they always send me 2 or 3 sets. And then sometimes they all end up in my little pouches. Okay, well, I thought this would be fun because we could do different parts of these stencils in different shades of blue and get a monochromatic look. But because there's not layers, they're just connected, if you see what I mean. Like, they're not how some of our layered stencils have, like, you'll have this and then you'll have pieces that go in there, like the ones that my daughter Alicia designs for us, like this, like the rose we did earlier, how it's the big rose and then parts of it to create depth. Well, this isn't like that. It's different little elements, and I think that would be a really cool way to create the monochromatic look. All right, let me make sure I have my ink stands because I always need those. And Brianne, if you wouldn't mind just sharing the link to your store for those ink stands. I know people love them and they always ask. All right, so I'm going to cut this piece of cardstock in half. And then I'm going to cut it down. Let's see. I'll cut it down to like 4.5. No, I'll just cut it down to 5.5 again. We'll just see if, you know, we can decide later if we want to trim it down from there. And then let me see if I still have my my sticky mat close by. I don't know where that went. Doing 2 lives in a day, it's not hard to do 2 lives in a day, but it's messy. And I don't know where I'd put things after I use them. So, here it is. Okay. It just hit me where I put it. All right, so I'm going to just put this big piece of cardstock here, and then I'm going to start with layer 1. So I'm going to just put it right up to the bottom there, and it doesn't matter. These are really easy to line up. But if you ever have trouble lining up stencils, layering stencils, let me show you a little trick, okay? So almost all of you have a MISTI stamping tool or some kind of stamping platform, and all you need is a corner. All you need is a right angle, all right? So what you can do is you can put your cardstock anywhere you want, like that would work. And then just pop your stencil up into that corner, all right? Then when you do your different layers, as you do them, you take off the one stencil, you pop the other stencil back up into that corner. And then when you're done with that stencil, you take it off and you pop that stencil back up into that corner. And they're automatically going to line up perfectly without worrying about the placement, because they're designed so that when they're all together, they make that design. So if you struggle, you know, then I would definitely use something like your MISTI and the grip mat. And we can do that now. We might as well do that now so that you can see how easy it is. But that's just a little tip. Okay, so we'll start with layer 1. The one thing you do have to remember, though, is at the bottom of these layered stencils, there is the writing. That's just on the ones from Gina K Designs, not our new ones that go with the embossing folders. But that's okay because they're super easy to line up because they just fit right over the embossed design. They also line up perfectly in a right angle. You just have to make sure that first you put them all together, and then what I do is I look up in the light to make sure that they look right in the light. Okay, so we'll start with this one, and we're just going to pop it right there up in the corner. And then let's start with our lightest blue, which is going to be Blue Sky. So far, this is our lightest blue. That doesn't mean it'll forever be our lightest blue. You never know. We might come out with something even lighter than Blue Sky. But I just want to clean my brush here and just ink that up a little bit. And then I'm going to add Blue Sky to this design. All right, so I'm going to, oh, you know what? I should tape it down, though, because I have a big piece of cardstock. If I didn't have such a big piece of cardstock, it would stick to the grip mat with no problem. But there's not a whole lot extending over the edge there because I cut my cardstock really big. But that's all right. I can just put a little piece of tape here and that'll hold it in place. And I can also put my hand here and hold it in place. Is that a hint? Well, you never know. All right, so I'm going to start off the design a little bit. And then I'm going to just work my way with a lighter hand as I get more toward the edge of the design. Okay, that's a very pretty blue. I don't want to go too heavy-handed with it either. And remember that all of the inks are going to dry lighter than what we started with. And I'm going to add more colors to this. I'm going to add more blues in here. Sorry, my bracelet's jingling. I might move it to the other arm. The other arm is very still. This arm, this is like a pendulum swinging around here. Could put somebody in a trance. All right, so there is our blue sky. That's such a pretty color. I love it. Now I'm going to leave the stencil right where it is. I'm going to teach my husband how to ink blend, and he's going to give me a guitar. That's great, Kimberly. I love that idea. Aw, I love that. All right, now we're going to go to powder blue. So we're kind of just going down in gradient order here. Blue gradient. So I've got this brush here. Let's see what's on it. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of this powder blue. Are the inks that were in the kit going to be released in full-size pads? You're talking about the ones that were in the Simon Says Stamp kit? Yes, they are going to be released in full-size pads, ink cubes, re-inkers, and coordinating cardstock. And we're just waiting for our shipment of cardstock to get here. And once it gets here, we will be releasing those 4 new colors. And they are gorgeous. And they're really going to complete some of our light, medium, and darks that we all so desperately love. Okay, so powder blue, you can see I'm just bringing that up a little bit into that flower. Oh, isn't that nice?
Question from Tanya. Where would the new cadet blue fit in?
So the cadet blue is more of a grayish blue. So I'll have to look at that and see what that's going to coordinate with. I mean, some colors don't have a light, medium, and dark version. They just are a standalone color. I feel like it might look really pretty with Moonlit Fog. We'll have to try it with that. We'll have to try it with some grays. And we'll have to try it with our navy and see how it looks with that too. And also with Tranquil Teal. It might look really nice with Tranquil Teal. But Cadet Blue was just a blue that we were totally missing in our collection. And for those of you that don't know what Cadet Blue is, that was one of the little ink cubes that we put in that exclusive Simon Says Stamp kit that we did over at Simon Says Stamp a while back. And we released those 4 colors for that kit. And then we told everybody that we would be coming out with the ink pads, the re-inkers, full-size pads, more ink cubes, of course, and then the coordinating cardstock. Okay, so I think this powder blue is like the perfect sister color to Blue Sky. It just, look at that blending, how it blends so nicely together. I love that. Doesn't that just set the whole thing off differently? It just hits different when you do that. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this stencil off. Oh, that is pretty. And now we're going to go to layer 2. So I'm just going to pop that into the corner, and you see how it just fits right in there perfectly. No thinking, no planning, no thinking. That's good for me. All right, now I need a bigger blue brush. This looks like purple. Oh, it's up here. All right, let's see what's on this brush. I'm going to clean that a little bit more. So I'm going to go full scale powder blue now on this. Should I use this brush or should I use, let me go back to this brush, because I've got a lot of other stuff going on in here. And so I think that we'll get a little bit better detail and not going into areas that we don't want to go into if I use this detail brush. So now this is kind of picking up from where that color at the bottom of those flowers left off. And I'm going down into the stem here. I'm going to do the same thing here. So this stencil is called Summer Bouquet, for anybody that was wanting to know what this one was. This is a fun stencil. Definitely, I mean, it's called Summer Bouquet, but honestly, I feel like these flowers would be gorgeous for fall too. And I've even used this stencil for holiday cards. And I did the flowers with red, of course, and then I did these parts all in kind of that pine green, and it looks beautiful together. And you know, of course, we think of poinsettias as the Christmas flower, but don't restrict yourself to only using poinsettias for Christmas. Look at some of your other flowers that you have in your collection. I think roses are beautiful for Christmas. I think all kinds of flowers are beautiful for Christmas, especially if you do them in the bright Christmas colors and you put a nice big bold holiday greeting in there. I don't think anybody would look at it and go, that's not meant for Christmas. Maybe some things, maybe like a sunflower would definitely be autumny, but it depends, right? All right, so I think I'm going to skip over blue raspberry because I think blue raspberry is too bright for what I'm doing here, and I'm going to move into blue denim. So I'm going to do some blue denim. I'm going to use this same blending brush and get some blue denim on here. And I'm going to bring that just right here in the center a little bit. Like that. Just to kind of deepen that up a little. There's no right or wrong way to do this, by the way. This is all just kind of serving suggestions. You kind of do what you like. All right. Now I'm going to also do some blue denim at the bottom of the leaves here. And I know that's the top of the stem, but that's okay. The thing about these leaves that's really fun is you can mix and match colors together really nicely just by lightly blending at the bottom of the leaf with one color and then coming up, you know, on the tops of the leaves or where the leaves like grow out of the plant with a little bit of a lighter color. And I think that would look really cool. So we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. I think we could go in with a little bit of that blue sky toward the tips of these flowers. And I think that will actually, I mean, to the tips of these leaves. And I think that would actually be a really cool mix. And it'll bring some of that blue sky into the leaves too. These detail brushes are really fun when you're just wanting to add a little bit of spot color here and there. And I don't know if you guys saw, but if you didn't watch the live today, we do have a coupon code for our friends from SCT, but it's good, you know, you guys can use it too. It's SCT brush. And it'll give you 15% off on our blending brushes. So if you've been eyeing up a few blending brushes, thinking you wanted to add a few to your collection, you guys are more than welcome to use that coupon code too. Okay, so now we've got a lot of blue going on here. I just like the way it looks, even with the messy stencil. Now I'm going to take a new brush here because I want to go back to blue sky, but I don't want to use that big brush on this because I really want to get some detail. So, you know, even though I'm using this on blue, I could clean it with a little rubbing alcohol and this could end up being my purple brush down the line. Let's see how this looks together. That's pretty cool. And I think once they all dry and the smoothing agent kicks in, it's going to create really pretty tips of these leaves. And you know what else is happening? So I still have that darker blue, right? The blue denim on the stencil. So as I work my way down, my blending brush starts picking up a little bit of that blue denim, and it starts creating a new color in the middle there. And that's why that blend is looking so smooth, because like what's on there is actually helping me a little bit. I love this. This is very fun. We still have the buds to do. We have one more layer to add on here. But I think the blues are fun. They're so peaceful and soothing. And you know, sometimes these monochromatic cards, like the grayscale cards, they're really good for things like somebody's sick, right? You'd want to do a get well, or you need a sympathy card. It kind of takes away the cheerfulness of flowers, and it just transforms them into something that's a little bit more muted and elegant.
Shout out to anybody who's joining us for the first time tonight.
Oh, welcome,
We've
friends.
got Penny, who just found the channel.
Oh, hello, Penny. Welcome. Welcome. It's great to see you. It's great to have all of these new friends coming over from all over. I know that we got some new friends who maybe watched us for the first time from SCT today, so it is great to have you here.
And of course, our repeat offenders.
Yes, the repeat offenders. And now, Penny, next time you come, you'll be a repeat offender too. All right, now I'm going to finish up these stems with some more of that blue denim. I feel like the dark color really does make a difference. When it comes to the stems, it feels like it's more muted in there. I like the stems being a little darker. And don't worry if like a little bit of that ink gets on an area that you don't want it to go to. It's totally fine. Once it all blends, it's going to look gorgeous. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about this, and I feel like it glows. Do you guys think it's glowing? I feel like it's glowing. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's so pretty. All right, now we have our last layer here. This is layer 3. And I'm just popping it up into the corner. So now, what do? How do we make it stand out a little bit more from the rest? It would be fun here to do like a pop of red, or it might be really pretty to mute it down and do a pop of gray, but that's not monochromatic. That's more than one color. So I'm going to stick with my plan of monochromatic. And I think I'm going to do blue sky. Let's do some blue sky. Maybe I'll do just blue sky real bright. Like that. Now I'm going to have to add something in here. Blue sky is certainly a bright blue.
Anne said, Gina, your voice is so calming tonight.
Aw, thank you.
That's the same voice you use when I stack things wrong in the refrigerator.
Okay. All right. You brought it up, so now we got to discuss it. I do have an issue with the way that you put things in the refrigerator. Now, I know that seems petty, but, you know.
This is all new to me.
Call me Petty Crocker, okay, when it comes to the refrigerator. I am Petty Crocker. I do not like, and just, I need my girls to back me up on this out there. I do not like when things are Tetrised in the refrigerator. And what I mean by that is, I don't like when there's something like this, a small little jar of something, and then a big thing comes into the refrigerator and it gets put on top. I like the big thing to go on the bottom and then the smaller thing to go on top. However, that might be petty. That might be petty. I am going to add a little blue denim on the bottom of these. I just feel like it needs it. That may be petty. However, I don't think I'm alone. I don't think I'm alone. I think that I'm not the only one. Am I the only one, Tom? Is everybody just laughing and saying, yeah, I don't get it? Because it feels too much like I'm playing Jenga when I'm trying to get something out of the refrigerator then. It feels dangerous to me. Like I'm going to grab something and everything's going to fall over. So we had this conversation, Tom and I, and I just said, I don't like this Tetris game we have going in here. And Tom said, well, you know me, you know how I am. So that's how it ended. All right, now I'm going to do the blue denim on these dots. These are really glowy flowers. And keep in mind, Tom, you brought it up.
Yeah, I did.
And you know, I wasn't even thinking about it, but now I'm thinking about it again. Okay, now let's see how this looks. Ooh, I didn't tape this down, so I was like living on the edge there too. Okay. All right. Oh, that is pretty. I probably was a little heavy-handed on the blue sky because I feel like it's just almost a little bit like too wet and it's seeped under, but I still love it. So what do you think of this? Do you like the monochromatic look of this? What do you think, Tom?
That's very calming.
It is calming, isn't it?
Like your voice.
It would be like my voice when I'm yelling about the refrigerator. Not that calming. Okay, so I might make a card out of this tonight. So I'm going to put this aside. And I do think this would be one of those times where I might branch into, instead of, let me grab it here. Instead of using black, I would use blue denim. Or we could use like blue denim as the shadow layer, or even going as dark as in the navy. This is in the navy. It might look black on your screen until you see it next to black. Here's a piece of black. See how you can see the difference there, right? So it is very dark, but it's still a shade of blue. Although I think I like the blue denim a little bit better. Will the detailed brushes fit in? I didn't see that question. Somebody asked about the detailed brushes and would they fit into some kind of container. So see if you can find that comment, Tom. There it is. Will the detailed brushes fit in your Stampin' Storage ink pad holder where... Ooh, it disappeared again. All right, we'll find it. The comments come in pretty fast, and sometimes they just jump. So if you find that comment, Tom, read it to me, okay? Okay, so that is blue. Okay, will the detailed brushes fit in your Stampin' Storage ink pad holder where the ink cubes are supposed to go? The detailed brushes fit into your... are you talking my Stampin' Storage? Stampin' Storage holder where the ink cubes are supposed to go. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to check it at home. I think you're talking about the rotating one, and I'd have to check that at home. I will do that. I think they might stick out a little too far for that, but I'm not 100% sure. But if somebody has that round ink pad, ink cube holder, and you have our detail brushes, if you want to throw one in and see how far out it sticks. And also, if you're in our Facebook group, you know, feel free to post a picture of that so that maybe this person who just asked that question, this chatter, will be able to see a picture of what it would look like. Yeah, the round storage unit. Yeah, I think that round storage unit only goes back as far as an ink cube. Maybe just a little bit more, because otherwise the ink cube would slip all the way in there and we would have trouble getting it out. But I could be wrong. I haven't really looked at it that closely. So hopefully somebody here has it and they can check. All right. So let's see what else we can do here. We could do another color scheme. Should we try? Do you want to try the embossing folder again with a monochromatic color, like a sepia one? We could try it. Now, I know this embossing folder is sold out, but also thousands of you did get it. So, you know, I hate to be the person that says, well, I'm not going to use it now because it's sold out. I still want to support it, and I still want people to be able to have ideas. And it is going to come back in stock because we've already reordered it. So, I definitely want to keep up with products that we have. Just because something's out of stock, it's not going to be out of stock forever. Every time I look at this, I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's do a sepia one. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock to like 4.5 by 6 inches. And we're going to see what colors are going to work with sepia. All right, so we'll go 6 inches. I think some of the Tim Holtz Distress inks would really look good with the sepia tones because he's got like that walnut stain and some of those other colors that are just so Tim, you know, they're just so beautiful. But we should see if we can do it with some Gina K colors too. And it would be beautiful in pinks and greens for sure. I did do a video using greens and did a monochromatic look when our spruces first came out. I don't know where that video is, but, you know. Oh, yes, Stamp and Share, good suggestion. If there's anything that you do want that's out of stock, it's always a good idea to get on the notification list. This way, when that product comes back in stock, you're going to get an email right away before we actually, you know, broadcast it to the public. You'll get that email as soon as our warehouse girl puts it in. Kristen, she puts things in, and then everybody gets an email right away. And people will just get their email, they'll buy it, and then somewhere, you know, within an hour later, somebody will say, hey, this is back in stock, but at least you will have gotten your email so that you'll be able to get in there and try to get it. Okay, now I'm going to put this to 2D emboss, and I'm going to turn it to about -3, and we'll see how that goes. All right. The folder doesn't come up to put it on the wish list. It should. You should be able to have it. Type in Wildflower Stems, but Wildflower is all one word. Type that in the search. I'm going to give it another. I just turned it. Like I put it in closed side first. Now I'm going to put it in with the opening first. Just because sometimes with embossing folders, the top, because of the way that curves from the injection molding, they just aren't quite as deep at the top, but sometimes when you turn it, it works. Okay, it looks like Brienne has shared it there, so you can use Brienne's link to find it. Okay, so now sepia. Let's look at this. Oh, look how pretty that is. I love it. Okay, guys, I'll let you in on a secret, okay? I'll let you in on a little secret. We have not one, but 2 3D embossing bundles coming at the end of August in our release. So that's just a little secret that now everybody knows. I'm very excited about them, and I think you will be too. So if you missed this, don't worry. There is more, and I'm telling you, each one is more beautiful than the last. These things are just incredible. All right, so I didn't use a little spritz of water, and so because I had that so tight, I did crack my flower just a little bit there, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. But if you do a light mist of water, or you can do a light mist of alcohol if you're not sensitive to that and you have alcohol in a spray bottle, then that won't happen. But I don't mind. It's not really going to affect anything. Okay, so I have my stencils here. And let's try. I'm just picking one. All right. So since we're doing all browns, I'm not going to worry too much about what touches what. Like, I don't need any post-it notes here. So I thought, I grabbed some browns here. I thought Kraft, warm cocoa, and dark chocolate would make a really beautiful sepia tone card. Now, sepia, depending on, are you looking at really old-fashioned sepia photography? Are you looking at something newer? Sometimes it's a little bit on the reddish side. But I like the true browns of sepia. I have a photograph in my living room of my grandparents, my Italian grandparents, and it's all sepia. And it's so beautiful the way it looks, and there's no red in it at all. So we're going to stick with these kinds of colors. Okay. Well, I can't give you all the details. I know you want all the details, but I can't give you all the details. So you're going to be surprised, though. And yes, there is a kit. I'll just tell you, yes, there's going to be a kit. Okay. So I'm going to start here, right here, and I'm going to bring this down into that petal. This is the driest ink pad I've ever used in my life. I've done so much wood graining, and I have never re-inked this Kraft pad. Can you hear it? Listen to this. It's like, it sounds like sandpaper. I need to get a re-inker stat for my Kraft ink pad. There's hardly anything on it.
Laura wants to know why Kraft and not Sandy Beach.
Because Sandy Beach feels a little too blonde to me, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's got the brown tone in it. So I definitely want to go more with the browns. But you could definitely try Sandy Beach and see how you like it on yours. Did I move that? Oh no, I moved it after I finished. Okay. Yeah, see my sticky, first thing tomorrow, I'm getting a re-inker for my Kraft pad, and I'm getting a new sticky mat, because my sticky mat, I've used it so much. It's so dirty and so full of everything. Okay. And Tom, I saw somebody say word of the day. So I forgot to ask you, do you have a word of the day today?
I have a phrase of the day.
Phrase of the day.
Much like a word of the day.
All right. Do you want to do that now while I'm just blending away on the
All
browns?
right, you blend away.
Okay.
Well, so a lot of people have been on cruises. We've been on a few cruises.
Yes, we have.
Cruises are great. We have fun on the cruise. It's been a while, but they have all kinds of cruises with music now, bands, yacht rock bands. They have singles cruises, and we've had really good experiences. But I hear stories that sometimes people go on cruises and it's going great, and then they get hit with something. They get body aches or they sniffles, and before you know it, they're like in bed with welts on their back. That sounds horrific.
It sounds awful.
That is of course, that unfortunate scenario is what we call in the dead space a shingles cruise. That's a shingles cruise. Word of the day, phrase of the day, back to the dead space. Penny, apologies. Hang in there.
Our new people unsubscribing right now. A shingles cruise. All right, so I'm using warm cocoa right now. And then I'm going to pull that off and see what that... Ooh, look at this. All right, guys, look at this. Isn't that pretty? I love it. You know the only thing that I think I should have done differently? I think it would have been even cooler if instead of white cardstock, I had used our 80-pound layering ivory cardstock. Or could have even used Kraft cardstock and sepia tone. I think that would have been really cool together. Although I don't know how well the Kraft ink would show up, but just imagine in your brain what that would look like. All right, now I'm doing layer 2 here. It's not marked as layer 2, but it's layer 2 because it's the second layer that I picked up. How's that? Shingles. It is true, though. I mean, some people really get sick on cruises. And if you get something on a cruise ship, you're out there. Remember what happened to us in St. Thomas, Tom? Tell them what happened to us.
We had chicken pox.
We did.
They thought it was dengue. At least the bartender did.
And you know, you should always take your medical advice from the bartender.
Yeah, we didn't go to the doctor. We went to the bartender and he said, "You have dengue."
He did. That's exactly what he said. He said, "You got the dengue." And I'm like, no. There was no Google then. Thank God. If I had Googled dengue fever back then and read what that could be, oh my gosh.
I think some of us had shingles later too, didn't we?
I did.
Rena did.
Alicia did.
Yeah. I may have. I just didn't notice
You
or
just
something.
walked it off because that's what you were told to do as a kid. Walk it off.
Dengue, that is something they get in the...
mosquitoes.
in the Caribbean sometimes, I think.
Yeah. But it ended up being chicken pox, and it was bad. I was 27. You were 27 too, Tom. We were 27 when we got chicken pox. Tom and I are the same age. Actually, Tom's a little bit younger than me. But...
We're gestationally the same age.
Gestationally, we're the same age because I was a premature baby. I was a 7-month baby, and Tom was a 9-month baby, and our birthdays are 2 months apart. So gestationally, we're exactly the same age. But he's younger than me by 2 months. I hate those 2 months, too. When, when I'm older than him. I'm always so glad
You just couldn't wait.
I couldn't wait.
You're still that way. You just
I had
can't
things to
wait.
do. I'm a cougar, yeah. 2 months. Okay, now I'm going to go with the warm cocoa. I am actually making a card here. I am crafting. But yeah, and I didn't realize how dangerous getting chickenpox as an adult really is. Until I got chickenpox as an adult, and they told me, you know, that's kind of dangerous. I guess some people get chickenpox, and it's like, it causes all kinds of issues, like crazy stuff. But see, not knowing, I think the internet is great for a lot of things because, I mean, it teaches us fun things like hobbies, right? And, you know, you can get a quick weather report and it's really easy to, like, you know, figure out where something is. You want to go to a restaurant or you want to see a menu ahead of time. It's great for that kind of stuff. But it's scary also because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet for sure. And everything, you know, you only see the scariest stuff, right? So, you know, when Tom and I were 27, there was no internet. There wasn't even dial-up internet back then. I mean, I think what did we have? Like a carrier pigeon? That was the way we communicated back then. And, you know, so we didn't know that we were in any danger. We're just like, oh, we have chickenpox. That stinks. I hope it goes away. And that was, you know, the extent of it. So, all right. So there is layer 2 with the browns. I'm loving this. I'm really loving it. Now, if you notice here, I missed this little lip. Can you see that little lip there? I missed that. That's easy to fix. I'm just going to go back to that original stencil. And is this the original stencil? Yeah. And I'm just going to reposition that so I can get some ink on that. I might actually put a little bit of the darker ink on that. And just get a little bit in there. So, you know, all is not lost if you miss something. You can always go back and add it. So there we go. Okay. All right, this is coming along. Just having a little too much fun tonight with the comments. I know, it's true. Dr. Google will have you dying no matter what. You know, and I have type 1 diabetes, for anybody that doesn't know that. I have type 1 diabetes, so I wear a pump, and I have all the things, you know. I'm insulin dependent, all of that. You know, the internet will really scare you. And sometimes I just have to, like, let it go and not read all the things. And I had an issue one time that a test result came back and I looked it up on the internet. It was a terrible thing to do. And when I got to the doctor, she was like, oh no, don't worry about it. That's really nothing. And I was so worked up because of everything that I had read on Google. I mean, I had myself, you know, one foot in the grave. And she was like, no. That's pretty normal. And you know, you're doing fine, and all of your other labs look good, so we don't worry about that. And the internet. Oh, why am I using brown? Oh, I will use brown for this. All right, so I'm going to use warm cocoa. I just wanted a bigger brush for in here, just to get that warm cocoa in there. I just feel like that was easier. I will use the smaller one for some of these detail areas. And then I'm going to go in with even a darker color, a darker brown. Do the top of that. And then, just like I did in the last time when I made this in gray and in color, I'm going to go just up the center of this with the darker color. And then I'm going to come down the sides with the lighter, with like Kraft. And then we'll use that real dark chocolate for all the stems. Just like that. We can even just scrub back and forth if we want. I want to. So, yeah, don't pay too much attention to the internet. All right, now I'm going to get, I think I'm done with the warm cocoa all around. So now I can use that same brush and I'm going to go in with some dark chocolate. You can also use chocolate truffle for this. Is everybody talking about the internet, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can be crazy. All right, so I'm just doing some real dark around the perimeter here. Just leaving that little pop of lighter brown in the center. Just so it looks a little glowy in there. And then I'm going to go over these two. I think these should definitely be darker. I think that'll pull everything right into the center there. And then I'm going to use this dark chocolate for these stems. But I definitely think charcoal brown would be good too. Charcoal brown is just a little bit of a grayer brown. and dark chocolate is a little bit of a warmer brown. You can almost see the red in this brown a little bit, which is probably good for sepia. Just that tiny little bit of it. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go back with my very dry Kraft ink pad. Yeah, browns are really pretty. They're so soft, and I don't know, this whole wildflower idea with the browns I think is really neat. So now I'm just going to use the Kraft. I can just hear that dryness in there. Yeah. Definitely do yourself a favor when you get ink pads and pick up the re-inkers, because nothing is more frustrating than when your ink pad is out of ink and you don't have the re-inker close by. It's just the right little bit. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Looks messy. But not anymore. Oh! Stop. This is so fun. These stencils are so fun, these embossing folders. Look at that. It does look like dried flowers. That's a great observation. It really does. Looks like dried autumny flowers. You can almost feel the crunch in them. Okay, so we have our last stencil here. All right, let's try to find that spot. I think that looks pretty good. Alrighty. Does that look good? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So for this, once again, I'm going to just go with that dark chocolate. Yeah, I didn't think of dried flowers, but now that you say that, it's totally like dried flowers.
You're really blending over backwards tonight.
It's true. Okay, then I'm just going to do a little in here like that. And then I'm going to finish it off with whatever little bit of Kraft is on this brush. Definitely in here. I'm going to go a little darker up here. Just run that over these long stems, just kind of scrubbing. It just gets the ink in there a little bit easier than trying to do a circular motion when it's like this skinny of an opening. I don't think I've ever used the same products 3 videos in a row, but you know, sometimes you just gotta exhaust the possibilities, and it's fun. Okay, here we go, the big reveal. Wow. Wow. So those are the browns. Tom, they want you to put out a book with your words of the day. He should. I agree with that. I think he should. I think that would be really fun.
I'm kind of working on it.
Are you? You can always go back, because Tom's like, did I ever use this word of the day? I think it would be good to have a book so that he doesn't worry about repeating something. Because you've been doing it for so long now that it's like, I mean, at our age, we can't remember things we already did, so it's easy to repeat something. We'll have to go back through all the videos and write down all the words of the day and their meanings. Okay, well, that is sepia toned, the browns monochromatic, and the blues monochromatic. And of course, you can do this with any of these combinations of colors. So download this sheet. I'll update it as we get some new colors. I won't do it right away because we've got 4 new colors coming. You know, the Kelly Green and the Cadet Blue and all, and I'll mix some of those in with this. I'll wait until those colors are available so that, you know, when I do this, you can actually use those colors. But in the meantime, I think we could create 2 really quick cards here. So for this one, let's see how big this one is. So it's 5.5. 5.5. I'm gonna do a frame and frame kind of thing. So it's pretty close to 5.5. And then we got to get it down to 4.25. So 5.5. Let's take a 1/2 inch off first. Take a 1/2 inch off over here. That'd be 4.5. And then we'll take off 1/8 inch this time. I won't be a dummy like I was earlier. And we'll go to 4.25. Okay, so that should be 4.25 by 5.5. So I think I'll do that, and then I'll cut out the center and we'll pop it up. I do like this cutoff down here, but then I can't really do that technique. You know, I probably should have started the stencil down a little bit lower so that would hide that, but we'll see how it looks. All right, and this one, oh gosh, I hate to cut any of it off, right? So this is, let's cut a little off. Go to 4 and 4.25 by, we can cut the bottom off here, by 5.5. So that's an A2. So both of these are now A2 size. Oh, that's very nerve-wracking to cut those off. But I think we could do the same technique for both of them. Although this one, I might just put this right onto a card base. I might just trim a little bit off and put it right onto a card base. I think there's a lot here, and I like this. This one, I think I can do the fancy die cutting. So let's see here. Let me get Master Layouts 2. Did I pull those out today? No. So I took those home last night to work on some things. Oh, can I tell you what I'm doing tomorrow? I would love you to join me if you wouldn't mind. I think it'll be really fun. I am actually going to be with my friends Laura and Cody on scrapbook.com's YouTube channel. I'm going live with them tomorrow. I know, right? Going live with them tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time? 1 o'clock Central Time? 2 o'clock? I'll post it as soon as I have the exact time, and I will post the video in our Facebook group, and I'll share it on YouTube as well. But I'm going live with Laura and Cody, and we are going to do some super fun stenciling techniques tomorrow. Really fun stenciling techniques that I think you're going to love. And y'all can do them too. It's really going to be fun. So I hope you'll join us. And if you've never seen Laura and Cody, they're crazy. They are so fun. So it's going to be a fun day over there. Noon Pacific. Thank you, Sherry. Noon Pacific time. So noon Pacific, that means I'm 2 hours. So 2 o'clock my time? Does that make sense? 2 Central? I'll tell you, the time zones, if we could all just be in the same time zone, I mean, I could just totally get used to it, just, you know, being lighter at a stupid time and darker at a stupid time. Oh my gosh, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so I'm cutting this out with Master Layouts 2. You love the blue one, Carol? I like the blue one too. It's really fun. Okay. I know. And Simon, I see you. And you and I talked about doing another live together soon. Oh, I didn't cut that all the way through, so I'm just going to flip it on its back and do it one more time. I think I have my dial set weird here.
I think it's 3 o'clock Central.
Oh, it's 3 Central? Okay, 3 o'clock Central. Okay, thank you. So here's the thing. Whatever time it says for you, that's the time it is, because it's going to show up in your time zone. So, Simon, can you look and tell me what time Central time it's going to be? Simon will be able to know. Simon Hurley and I were talking about going live together, and then, I don't know, both of our lives got busy, summer got in the way, and we didn't do it. So we've got to do that again soon, Simon. 3 p.m. Central Time. Okay, thank you so much. On YouTube. On their YouTube channel. Yes. 3 o'clock Central Time. You know what? Probably shouldn't have said anything until I looked it up. But Simon Hurley to the rescue. Thank you, Simon. That fell on my foot. But I didn't scream. All right, so we're going with the lighter of the two blues. Instead of using the navy, I think the blue denim is going to be the one. And I'm using the plain die. I just used the stitch die. Now I'm using the plain layer to create my shadow layer for this. Simon, we have to think of something fun to do together. And you should just come here to our studio. We'll do it together live. When Simon's here, though, I have to wear my big high platform shoes. Because he's tall and I'm so short. Oh, gosh. When I was out at scrapbook.com, though, we literally, the night before, Cody, Laura, and I went to Target and we bought stools for me to stand on. 2 stools. I had one under each foot. And the only stools that we could find was a baby shark stool. And so I was standing on that, and I was still shorter than both of them. And the stools were like that tall. I was still shorter than both of them. They're supermodels. Simon, did you have to stand on a stool? You're so tall, though. Probably not. You were probably fine when you went to scrapbook.com. I'm only 5 feet tall, and Laura is just, honestly, she is a supermodel. And Cody, too. I mean, they are just tall and gorgeous, and it was very intimidating. All right. So I'm putting this on here like that. And then we're going to save that, and we're going to line that up so that we can still use the whole thing. Okay. And now I'm going to get a white piece of cardstock. Let me get my big old tonic cutter out here. I'm going to get a white piece of cardstock. And I'm going to make 2 white card bases. Simon, you're 5'9". You're a supermodel, too. I'm telling you, I'm surrounded... I am a Oompa Loompa surrounded by supermodels. It's really a hard place to be. But, you know, it's okay. It's all right. That's because I was a preemie, right, Tom? Tried to get out too fast, and now I'm only 5 feet tall.
That's right.
That's not why. I'm only 5 feet tall because my dad was a short little Italian guy, and my mom was shorter than him. So, you know, it's in the genes. Short genes. Petite genes. Okay, so I'm going to just adhere this panel onto this card base. And I am going to trim this card base down just a hair. Because I remember telling you guys that I get all the miscuts and the misfits. So sometimes my cardstock is just a little too big or a little too small. And when it's not perfect, they give it to me. And that's okay. I don't mind. We make it work, right? All right, now I'm just going to tape this perimeter. I can't read all the comments, but I'm going to go back and look and see what you guys said later. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind being 5 feet tall because honestly, I like wearing wedge shoes that are like a 2-inch or a 3-inch wedge, and that's totally fine. It puts me at about 5'3" or sometimes 5'4". I'll show you the shoes that I wear when Simon Hurley comes. You want to put the front camera on, Tom? These are the shoes that I wear when Simon Hurley comes. So when I put these on, see how short I am? But when I put these on, look at that. Then I become a supermodel, all of 5 feet, almost 4 inches tall. And when Simon comes, we always have to back the camera out a little bit because he is tall. All right. So now I'm going to pop this up. I didn't pop the other one up last time, but I think it would look really cool if I pop it up. This is card making and I don't know what else tonight. But we're having fun. So I'm going to put a couple in the center here too so it doesn't sink in the center. And then I'll put some right here on the sides. Now I do have our strips, our shaker strips, and I could use those. But the shaker strips are actually higher. So they're great for shaker cards. I don't want this to be that high off the ground. Off the ground of the card. See, I'm still thinking of the standing on a stool. All right. You guys are so sweet. I'm okay, you know, whatever. As long as I can see and craft, I'll be happy. The rest...
When we were kids in high school, we played in a band together.
We did,
Gina
yes.
and I.
Yep.
And we actually played some kind of convention of tall people.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. I literally only saw belly buttons the whole night. It was a tall person's convention. You should have seen the looks I got. Like, where's the bouncer? She's not supposed to be in here. I think you had to, as a woman, you had to be like 6 feet or over. And then the men, you know, were like 6'5", 6'6". It was very tall. All right, I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more. Should I, or should I just put it on there? Could this just be a beautiful single layer card like that? Would you guys be good with that? I feel like it's going to be good like this. I don't really want to do anything else to it. So I'm just going to put it right on there, and then we're going to pop some greetings on these. Yeah, so I saw a lot of belly buttons, some nice belts. People have nice belts. You never really see people's belts unless you're 5 feet tall and you're at a tall person's convention. Very nice leather, gold buckles, very nice. You got to make the best of it, right? I'm going to trim this off at the bottom just a tiny bit. We also played a convention for deaf people, which I thought was really cool because I didn't know. They danced and everything. It was great because they could feel the vibration, and that was cool. That was a really cool learning experience for me. And it was probably the first time that we ever played a gig where people weren't saying, turn it down, it's too loud. I mean, people were fine. They just loved the vibration and they were dancing. It was great. But the tall person convention, that was very, I was very out of place there. And they were all beautiful. I was really wishing that I was tall at the time. Okay, so now let's pick some really pretty greetings. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I've been on live too long today. Oh my gosh, let me find some greetings here. I have them. I gotta hide that because that's not being seen until tomorrow. Those cards. Let me look in my little stash here and see. Okay, so these are very pretty greetings. And of course, the elegant thoughts are always so pretty. I'll also see, no, because I want to stamp them in blues and in browns. All right, so what do you think if we did, what about many thanks on this one? I think that would be pretty. Or do you guys just love this font? Grateful for you. Doesn't this feel like it'd be nice for Thanksgiving? When I do Thanksgiving cards, I tend to do like grateful for you because it is the season of thanks and I like to let people know that I'm thankful for them. So what if I did grateful for you on this one, and then on this one we could do anything. We could do happy birthday, we could do get well wishes, we could do this happy birthday over here. Hello friend would be nice. Okay, we could do that. We could do hello friend on this one. All right, let's do that. We'll do hello friend on the blue one and grateful for you. I guess we're gonna use this set. And grateful for you in brown. All right, so for the blue one, this might be the perfect time to bring out the navy because navy is the black of blues, right? Just like our, I think I'll use our charcoal brown for the, well, let's see. Let's see how it looks. Let's just look at that next to the card. Do we like this blue? You think that blue will work? I think it will. It's blue. It's definitely blue. It's not black, but it's... I could stamp it one more time in blue denim. Maybe I'll do that just to be safe. I'm not even going to clean it because most of the ink came off. We played some interesting gigs in our days, Tom.
Yes, we did.
Fun places and got chicken pox along the way. Actually, I like this blue better, guys. See how the navy is more gray blue and this one is more blue blue? It's probably not very obvious on the screen, but in real life, when you pop these up against this card, this one definitely matches this better. This is a little bit too dark. So I'm going to go with the blue denim on that one. And then let me get a little piece of cardstock for down here. It's not that little, but... And I'll clean this. Okay, yeah, you guys like that better too? All right. You're my people. We're on the same page. So we're going to do Grateful for You in... Well, why don't we do it in the dark chocolate? Why experiment when we just saw what happened with the blues? Let's stick in those same browns. You'd like to hear more about how I got the chicken pox? How we got... Boy, that is the million-dollar question. Like, how did we get chicken pox? Well, the thing is that I grew up when I was really young, you know, when most kids get chicken pox, I was an only child. And so as soon as anybody got chicken pox, my mom wouldn't let me go near them. She wouldn't let me play with them or anything, which is probably the right thing to do. But consequently, I had never gotten chicken pox. And back then, there wasn't a chicken pox vaccine. So, you know, I never got them. Now, Tom, on the other hand, actually got chicken pox as a kid and got it again. But what we found out was he had a super, super mild case of chicken pox. And I think you have to have like so many pox There's a number of pox that gives you immunity, and Tom didn't have enough pox. He was
Short of pox.
short of pox. You didn't have enough. So he ended up getting the chicken pox a second time. And he didn't get them mild. He got them just as bad as I got them. It was terrible. It was really bad. We were very, very, very sick. High fevers for days and days and days. And we were in St. Thomas we were playing music at a place called the Marriott Frenchman's Reef in St. Thomas. We were the band there. And they put us in quarantine. And so we ended up living in our hotel room. And we just had to order whatever we could order, room service. Luckily, they gave the band a discount on food. Can you imagine? Like 2 musicians making no money trying to eat room service. But we were lucky they gave us a discount on food, and we survived. But nobody can really explain, how we got. That is not the right dye.
24 hours a day of grilled cheese, French fries, and Wolf Blitzer.
Yes, because it was, I'll tell you when it was, why we were watching Wolf Blitzer. Because we got chickenpox. We were in St. Thomas during the first Gulf War. And in St. Thomas, they only had a couple of channels on the television. And it was like a local, like West Indian television, just, couple local programs, and then CNN. And that's all there was. And so Tom and I literally laid in bed for a couple of weeks and just watched 24-hour news of the Gulf War. It was crazy. That was a crazy time. It really was.
Love the local commercials.
Yes.
For Percy's Bus Stop.
Percy's Bus Stop. Yep. I remember it.
On St. Thomas.
Okay, so this is just going to go right there. And I think that's so elegant. We could put a few little embellishments, and this is just going to go right there. I like how the white perimeter around those greetings kind of disappears because of all the white space. But I am going to pop these up just to give it a little bit of dimension. I don't have any brown embellishments, but gold would work. I don't even know if it needs embellishments, though.
Here's a story. We were on St. Thomas playing music while they were shooting Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
And a bunch of our friends in the Calypso show, they ended up as extras.
Yes. That's right. Oh, my gosh.
I think they asked us to come out, but you had to get up early in the morning, and we weren't.
No, that wasn't our thing.
Too motivated.
We were musicians and out late. Weekend in Bernie's, yeah. You know what else was really interesting? So the very first time that we played in St. Thomas, we played quite a few times at that resort, different times, different years. But the very first time that we played there, I feel like I'm so grateful that we escaped it. So we were scheduled to play there in June, July, and August. And it was our first time playing there. So we got the weird months that nobody wants to be in the Caribbean, right? And then they really liked our band. And they said, you guys we like you. We'd like to keep you on for September and October. And we were like, oh, thank God, because again, we were starving musicians, right? And so we had nothing else booked, and we were like, yay, we get to eat for 2 more months. So we were all set to play there in September and October. And then the entertainment director came to us and said, I have some bad news. We wanted to keep you here. However, the other entertainment director had already signed a contract with another band that was going to be coming in and playing in September and October. So we'll have to just bring you guys back another time. I was so upset. I was so disappointed. We had nowhere to go, like no work, and I didn't know how we were gonna survive. But we always found a way to survive. So the gig was over at the end of August, and we flew back to New Jersey, Philadelphia, where we were living at the time. And then what happened the following week, Tom?
Hugo.
Hurricane Hugo wiped out St. Thomas. There was nothing. There wasn't a leaf left on a tree in St. Thomas. And I think about that now, and I think about what a blessing it was that we weren't there. And wow, I mean, there was nothing left. Nothing. The whole island just got destroyed. So we got so lucky. We didn't think we were lucky at the time, right? We thought that, here we are. We could really use the money, and it would be really nice to have the work. And then we didn't realize that we were being saved from something. So, sometimes things don't work out for a reason. And we were really fortunate. I love the white pearls. I'm putting these white pearls on here just around the greeting, just like that. And then I'll show it to you up close so you can see how pretty they look. But yeah, that was a learning experience. And then they did rebuild, and we went back probably a year later and played again. And we played during the good months then. Like the winter. We got to go down in the winter. And then we got chicken pox. So, we weren't saved from everything, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, the chicken pox, Tom and I got to spend a lot of time together during the chicken pox era. And we were lucky that, we didn't have any long-standing issues with that. And we have a great story to tell. So that's what life's about, right?
We played in St. Thomas a week before Hugo came through, and we ended up playing in Myrtle Beach a week after Hugo went through.
That's right. That's right. We ended up getting a gig there. And I'm going to put some silver ones on here. I feel like the silver with the blue. I do have some blue pearls in here. I should look and just see how they look. I feel like they're not the right... Ooh, never mind. Never mind. That looks fantastic. I love that blue pearl on there. See? You never know until you try. That's right. I remember we were walking along the beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, after Hugo. And I looked out in the ocean, and there was a big... looked like a concrete thing, and it had the number 6 on it. And I found out later that was actually a wall of a swimming pool that ended up in the ocean, and it was, I guess, the 6 feet deep part of the pool. Some crazy stuff that hurricanes can do. All right, so we're adding a few blue pearls on here. And I think they look really cool. And then the white pearls on the sepia one. Tom, you and I are just chatty tonight. We've been on the internet for a long time today. Okay, so let's take a look at this one close. See how the pearls are just so delicate in there? And I feel like it doesn't take away from the sepia look of that card. So there is our sepia toned one. And then here is our monochromatic blue one with those blue pearls. Nice little sheen to those pearls. I didn't think they were going to work, but they look really nice. All right, so there's our 2 monochromatic cards. What do you guys think? You going to try this? What color combinations are you going to try? I saw somebody earlier say, do pink and do green, and I would love to see what you can do with that. So if you do make cards, make sure you come on over to our Facebook group. Tom, put the Facebook group up. This is our Facebook group. It's Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. If you're not a member, come on over and join us. And any of your Gina K Designs stencils that you use for these techniques, share the cards with us because we would love to see the color combinations that you do. Plus, it's a really fun group. You will have a few security questions to answer because we try to keep the bots out and the spammers out. And you do have to agree to our group rules, and then our moderators will let you in, and it's a private group. Look for the group that has 49,000 members because there are a couple groups that kind of use our name and they shouldn't. So people sometimes join those groups thinking they're joining ours. So come join us at Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. And then if you like today's video, and we sure hope that you have liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. We'd love a thumbs up for the video. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and then hit all notifications so you never miss another video. All right, and then a big shout out again to Brianne Loveland. Thank you, Brianne. We appreciate you so much. If you missed any of Brianne's links and you are trying to find anything, you can find it on our website at ginakdesigns.com. And don't forget the SCT coupon. So generous that Catherine allowed me to be on her channel today and share that coupon code. That code is SCT Brush, and it gives you 15% off our blending brushes and our blending brush holder. Now, speaking of Catherine and how generous she is, make sure you go over to Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, their website. Check out all their events, all of their classes. Check out their products that they have there. They've got some exclusive products and some kits that were leftovers from different events that they have, and you can buy one of those kits and go watch the class on their YouTube channel because you get a little secret passcode to get into those private YouTubes. It's so fun over there. And they do all of these wonderful blog posts. They're full of inspiration. We love SCT. I'll be teaching at their card making event in the fall. So that's going to be really fun, and I'm sure shortly after that, if they're going to do another one, they're going to announce it. They're going to do another one. I know they'll do another one. They always have to. They can't leave us high and dry. But also, they've got a great subscription program called Let's Stamp Together, where every 2 months you get a kit delivered right to your mailbox. And then different people, different companies design these kits. I designed the last one, and I taught that class. And we all get to teach these classes, and that's a subscription and a private Facebook group. So check out some of the fun things that they have over there. And Catherine was so generous tonight. She wanted to give away a $50 gift card to one of our lucky viewers. So today we have a Scrapbook and Cards gift card for $50, and Tom is going to pick a winner for that. All right, Tom. Are you ready to pick a winner?
I am ready to pick a winner.
All right.
Okay, so this first person is for
Scrapbook and Cards Today, $50.
Scrapbook and Cards Today. All right, drum roll. Here we go. And the winner is Marilyn Myers. Marilyn!
Yay, Marilyn! Myers. Congratulations, Marilyn. Stay tuned. I'll tell you what to do, so don't go away, Marilyn. All right, now we're going to give away a $15 Gina K Designs gift card. We give a $15 gift card at every one of our lives on Tuesday nights and on Thursday afternoons. So, who gets the gift card for Gina K?
Another drum roll. Here we go. And the winner is Kairo Queen ES.
Yay, Kairo Queen! Congratulations. All right, so both of our winners, all you have to do is send your name and your email address to info@ginakdesigns.com and let us know which of the prizes you won. I'll list them here in the description, so when you let our customer service team know, they can refer back and make sure they've got the right information. And then for scrapbooking cards today, we will make sure that we get your information over to Catherine and Meg at SCT. They will take care of that, and we will send the Gina K one to you who won that one tonight. All right, well, congratulations to our winners. One more look at the cards. Sepia tone, monochromatic, here they are. I'll take some good high quality photos of these and I'll post them on the post tab on my YouTube channel and also in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page and on Instagram as well. Thanks for putting up with my Band-Aid tonight. I cooked last night for dinner and I burned myself. See, household chores, crafting. I never burned myself crafting.
Food was great though.
The food was good. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Tom and I'll be back on Thursday with another Stampin' Chat Live here on my channel, and we will be featuring Master Layout 17. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time, I will be over on scrapbook.com's YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing some really fun stenciling techniques. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.